Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we'll be doing the Phoenix versus, I don't know why I said Phoenix, but the Phoenix Suns versus the Portland Trail Blazers play-in matchup. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Who do you guys expect to win and why? Definitely think it's going to be an interesting one here. There are some other factors that will, like external factors that I think need to be considered, and we'll talk about it. If you guys want to skip to the end of the video, there should be timestamps. We'll talk about both teams, how they could each win, and then tell you who I think will win. Like, comment who you think, expectations, outlook, whatever in between that in the comments. And we're on the way to 20,000 subscribers. That like and subscribe button would mean a ton because I can't get there without your guys' help. So let's get right into it. Phoenix gets the edge on the seeding and just overall paper comparison of the two teams. I think this matchup is interesting, as Portland has a real incentive to lose to preserve its draft position and keep its pick. So that needs to be taken into consideration. I don't think any player is going to play to lose, but maybe an organization is. So let's get into it. What do you guys think of that? Let me know. Now, Phoenix finished 45-37 with a plus 1.5 net rating and a top 10 defense, 113.9 rating. They play slow, the 24th in pace. They limit their mistakes, only 14.5 turnovers a night, and rely on half-court offense to execute their scoring. I think that's the type of team that usually translates well in a playoff play-in setting. Portland went 42-40 with a negative 0.3 net rating, but the Blazers closed strong to the year, 7-3 in their last 10, split the season series against the Suns 2-2, including holding Phoenix to 77 points in a win. Their identity is clear. Portland loves size, rebounding, second in offensive rebounding rate, and balanced scoring through Deni Avdija's ability to get to the charity stripe, whether you like it or not. Shaedon Sharpe and basically Toumani Camara. Like, they have a plethora of guys who score on this team, and I really think that the Blazers do such a good job at like picking and choosing, but outside of Deni, like, who's just the key cog to their scoring machine. But you have, outside of Shaedon, you got Jerami Grant, who obviously that's a different situation, but Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, Toumani Camara, Donovan Clingan, who's hitting threes. Caleb Love will average 10.5 points, which shocked me this year. Vit Krejci is another person that I think is underrated. And Jerami Grant hasn't played since March 27th, and I know he's day-to-day with the calf issue, so I wonder if he's going to be in the lineup or not. Someone let me know. What do you guys think? And he ended up the year, shooting 45%, 38% from three, a bounce back year from the year before. So he could be someone who ends up playing significant minutes. Drew Holiday. And I think, again, the wrinkle that you need to consider is the draft incentive that Portland positions itself due to the draft protections creates a subtle but real tension. Winning pushes them into the playoffs, but risks, them losing their pick, or doesn't risk, they lose their pick, and losing increases the odds of retaining their pick. And this doesn't mean Portland won't compete. Their players and coaches still play to win, but it could influence the rotation, tightening risk tolerance, and the late game decision making that Tiago Splitter's told. And maybe Tiago told, if you lose this game, you can keep your job, or you can be made head coach. And in a one-game setting, I think these marginal kind of subliminal strategies that might make a difference should be taken into consideration. Now, why Phoenix can win, I think the better defense. They have the 10th rank versus Portland's 14th. Low turnover. Portland averages 17.5 turnovers. Phoenix averages 14.5. They take care of the ball better. And I think Devin Booker is a better shot creator and a better offensive player and a better player in general than Deni Avdija. And I love Deni Avdija, but 26 points a night, 6 assists, is able to score at will, all NBA player. And Donovan Clingan, Robert Williams playing really well. The shot creation with Scoot Henderson, Shaedon, and Deni Avdija is a lot. Plus their rebounding, 46 rebounds a game, second in offensive rebounds. You're able to demoralize your opponent. physically impose your will, create second chance opportunities, galvanize the troops. And offensively, Deni Avdija being this all-around engine who just gets to the free throw line, 24.7 rebounds, 7 assists a night. And his physical style just really just wears on your opponent. They could just grind and grind and grind the Suns down. But Devin Booker obviously his health could swing this, but I think he's the X factor. If he goes off, there's no way of stopping him. Colin Gillespie, he's a great shooter, great defender. He controls the pace, the tempo. He's a good spacer, shooting 40% from three. He's a playmaker. Then the big battle will be Mark Williams versus Donovan Clingan. The battle of the bigs. The battle of Goliaths. And I think, Robert Williams, Donovan Clingan versus Oso Ighodaro, Kaman Malawach, and Mark Williams. Like, that'll create the second chance opportunities. Will they be able to protect the rim in Phoenix from Deni Avdija? And will Portland be able to give their shooters, more attempts than usual, as this is not like a great three-point shooting team? Now, Avdija's usage, he's the primary scorer, he's a facilitator, the front court dominance of the Trailblazers on the glass, and I think having Jerami Grant would be huge. Having another shooter out there will give him the edge. But again, how aggressively is Portland pushing to win versus preserving draft equity? I think Phoenix with Gillespie, Booker, Dylan Brooks, of course, Royce O'Neal, Mark Williams, Grayson Allen, Jordan Goodwin, Oso Ighodaro, Ryan Dunn, Jalen Green. That's still a lot of scoring. I know, again, the biggest thing you could say is the size. Portland has the size advantage. Holiday, Sharpe, Avdija, Kamara, all great players. But then you start to look at Donovan Clingan, Jerami Grant, Robert Williams. You still have Scoot Henderson, Matisse Thybulle. Chris Murray's even solid. And I think when you look at this, this game hinges on Phoenix's health and how competitive Portland is in this game. I think even if Phoenix is close to full strength, their defense and shot creation could win out. Portland's size will keep it close, but them being the 20th ranked offensive rating and having struggled in late game execution, I could see this game going down to the wire. And obviously the draft incentive doesn't guarantee anything, but I think it slightly tilts the margins towards Phoenix in a tight game, with, I think, Phoenix edging it out and Portland losing. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you guys agree with me on that? And if so, let me know why. I think you're looking at a situation that, if I'm Portland, why would we give up our pick? Let's have a competitive game, but what if somebody suddenly has to sit at some point? And I think that should be understood that, hey, that's possible. And if that's the case, you shouldn't hate them. This is just 1 year. And it was a good year, and they fought it. And they had, I think, a really, really competitive season. And Thiago should be made coach full-time, regardless of what happens. It just seems like the ownership might not make him their coach, which I think sucks. So that's my whole opinion on that matter. I'm done. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Bye.